So, what is up, guys? Welcome to Garages 365. And today, guys, I wanted to talk about the most underrated class of motorcycles. So as you guys might know that I really like later class motorcycles, but what most of you might not know that we also got some comfortable and yet playful, powerful superbikes. So basically, back when the first liter class super sports were launched in India, that was around 2010 2011. At that time, guys, mostly the bikes which were launched were the CBR 5 blade and the Yamaha R1. So along with these motorcycles, also their siblings, as I would say, the siblings, which were the FZ1 and the CB 1000R, both of them were launched as well. But the Indian people's mentality is that they just want to buy the flashiest thing possible, just to pose with them rather. And so these relatively less flashy motorcycles were simply sold less. So these motorcycles were extremely good motorcycles, guys, don't get me wrong on this. They had good brakes, and the engines, the characteristics of the engines were extremely different when compared to the super sport sibling, because these bikes had really powerful mid-range, whereas the top end was kind of dull. But that's how you can differentiate between a super sport and a street naked, a proper street naked. And the strong mid-range was actually the reason why these bikes feel so playful on the streets. For them to be playful is the mid-range power. You need more of mid-range than the full-on in-your-face top-end kind of motorcycle. So, in many ways, I would prefer a street naked over a super sport. The super sport, just it looks fantastic, and basically that's it. So guys, these super sports are they are relatively a lot harsh, and the reason why these street nakeds are so playful is because that they have got extremely less bodywork on them, which makes you feel that you are more exposed to the motorcycle. And talking about which, guys, they have lesser wheelbase as well. So less wheelbase obviously means that the bike is more prone to do wheelies and stuff. So basically, this is another difference, that your riding posture, whenever riding a super sport, most of your weight comes on your wrists, and what that means is that you have got higher stability, and wheeling is a bit lesser on super sports. So guys, that's the reason why Super Duke is such a hooligan machine, and even the Z1000 for that matter. Okay, so coming back to these street nakeds, so these two were primary bikes, and they didn't sell that bad, but compared to the super sports, it just sold really bad. Later on, a lot of manufacturers then started selling their own versions of these street nakeds, their own competitors. The Ducati entered the market with the Street Fighter, which obviously sold very less, because of course that's an Italian exotic. So that, even the 210 V4, the 210 kind of sold a bit better, but yet in very few numbers. So the 210 and MV Agusta, Brutale, BMW S1000R, which by the way, guys, is such a fantastic motorcycle. I once got a chance to sit behind one, and guys, it's proper mad. It's proper mad, guys. The mid-range is such an insanity. And obviously S1000RR has gotten pretty much lower mid-range power than that, obviously. That bike was, as I remember, it was nothing as like I had experienced before. Proper mad. Like the traction control would have been interrupting like in tenths of second for keeping the front wheel down. That's simply bonkers, guys. Now the next, obviously the Suzuki also entered this market with the SX1000 S and the SF with the fairing. The SF version sold really badly. I mean, a lot of people think that bike is ugly, and I have kind of a split opinion for that bike. Well, that's a comfortable motorcycle, guys. That, and then obviously your Kawasaki bikes. I also rode the Yash XN once. I mean, it's a long time ago, but for that matter. But I legally didn't have a license back then, so I am not telling you guys exactly when I rode that bike. For a short while, and that bike is proper fast, guys. I mean, obviously it's very friendly in comparison to the other motorcycles with similar performance, like the Benelli 600i. The Benelli 600i has got an inline 4 engine from an R6, so it's mad. It just heats up, and it gives a super sport troubles with the naked motorcycles. So that's that. And I have sat on a Z800 as far as I remember. Yeah, I have sat on a Z800, and that bike, and well, that bike was really nice, actually. So guys, these bikes sold decently well. The Z1000RR actually sold well because of its looks, guys. It looks amazing, and it's just sharp, angry looking face, I think, kind of. So that bike is a real treat to eyes. I mean, so that bike really sold well. In fact, it outsold the Ninja 1000, which is the faired version of the same bike. And obviously on the highways and doing long distances, the Ninja 1000 will be a lot better. But the Z1000 is a proper stunter's machine. It's just mad mid-range, and basically that's the highlight of the motorcycle. Exactly. I love that bike, honestly. It's one of the bikes which I really want to own. That the Super Duke unfortunately wasn't officially sold in India. I believe there is one actually privately imported. I had seen some picture of that motorcycle. Well, that bike has a massive 1290cc engine, so it's pretty bonkers in the mid-range. It's mad. So guys, basically the reason why these bikes didn't sell well, okay, I'll give you guys an example. So Triumph had two street motorcycles, which were the Street Triple and the Speed Triple. One had the smaller one, the Street had 675, the bigger one, Speed, had 1050cc engine. So obviously Speed Triple, the bigger one, didn't sell that well, and Triumph pulled the plug in the Indian market, at least, and they didn't launch the updated Speed Triple in India. So that bike was pretty nice. It had under-seat exhausts, and that, in my opinion, that was a really a nice machine. And the twin under-seat exhaust, guys, I am a real big fan of under-seat exhaust. Honestly, I just don't like this conventionally placed exhausts. I believe under-seat and underbelly exhaust look really awesome. And basically, guys, these were some prime motorcycles which I believe should have sold a bit well. The Suzuki's GSX1000S, that bike also deserved to be sold well, in well numbers, but unfortunately just couldn't manage those. But its its sibling, which is the GSX S750, That sold pretty decently, because that was obviously smaller inline 4, and the market trend towards superbikes has been really kind of a weird one, at least in India. Yamaha should enter this game, because the Z900 has sold extremely well. So did its predecessor, the Z800. So I think Yamaha should enter with their MT09, guys. I mean, they had entered, but the pricing was too absurd, and so it sold quite less. I mean, that was a weird story by Yamaha. I think that they should do pricing right, and obviously the marketing as well. The new one is absolutely awesome. I just went through the website of the MT09, the latest one. Such a gem of a motorcycle, guys. Triple cylinder 900cc. And comes with pretty much all the bells and whistles, like a TFT color, TFT dash, LED headlights both front and back, and everything, guys. And obviously your regular safety related stuff, ABS, traction control. That's a pretty nice feature packed motorcycle. Obviously the Kawasaki is also gonna enter with the new Z900 with the TFT dash, and a lot of other upgrades as well. The competition isn't that great, unfortunately. I would suggest anyone who is buying a ZX 10R just for looks with no track riding intentions, get the Ninja 1000, guys. A lot more comfortable, a lot more street focused, I would say, and long journeys would be smooth as butter on that bike, honestly, because you get a nice windscreen. You also get cruise control and decent amount of features to really keep you happy. So guys, that's pretty much it for today, guys. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to this channel and like this video if you haven't, and comment down below what do you guys think about these motorcycles. Do you like them as much as I do? Please make sure to write that down in comments below. Thank you for watching.